And we're live, streaming to you from the footsteps of New York City. We are Music Matters with Jason Tramm, and I'm delighted that you could join us for our unique podcast community, where we explore the issues and challenges of the performing arts world as seen through the eyes of distinguished colleagues. Thank you so much for helping us grow. We recently hit 1,425 subscribers on YouTube, and today our show premieres on New York City radio. So we're very excited that we've expanded to a bigger community, and we're so glad that you're with us today. Please subscribe to us and hit that bell icon and join us. It helps us to grow, and we love to have these conversations, and the more people, the better. See our 150 past episodes, you can go on our website at www.jasontram.net. Again, that's www.jasontram.net. We have a wonderful show for you today. We've got two guests from Malaysia, our first guests from Southeast Asia. We have Muka Surat 9, and we have Jen and Ellie who are joining us, and we're delighted that you could be here today.
Hello. Hi, Jen here.
Greetings, Jen. Greetings, Ellie. So tell us about what's going on in Malaysia right now?
Ellie, you want to start? You should start. I'm sorry. So currently we are living apart. That's just because in Malaysia right now we are undergoing our second total lockdown because the number of cases has went up until close to 10,000 cases a day. So it's really hard right now for us. We're still trying to roll out the vaccination program, but it may take quite a long time for that to happen. So quite worrying times right now. What's going on in Malaysia? Yeah.
So thank you for sharing that. Yeah, we went through this in New York, and the lockdowns, and until that vaccine comes out, that's going to lower the caseload, hopefully, and we'll keep everyone in our prayers here and there.
Yeah,
so you're twin sisters, right?
Yes.
How special to have twins who make music together. What a great way to celebrate your humanity. And did you grow up singing together?
Yes, we do. We actually started writing songs when we were 10 to 11 years old, somewhere there, yeah. But mostly we write our songs separately because we're not that close when we were young. And then right after we graduated from school, then we started to hear to each other sound. Like she would play her sound for me and I would play my song for her. Then we try to sing together, and oh my God, we sound great. So so we stick together from then on.
Well, that's a wonderful combination.
In the beginning, when we wrote song, there's no instrument because back then we didn't learn how to play guitar yet. I think we started at 17, is it 15, 17, like that. I think that's when we started to play guitar, and that's when our song starts to follow the rhythm of the guitar. Before that, we just tune it out in our head. Yeah.
Right. It's always a process, right? So tell us about what each of you brings that's unique to your duo.
Should I start first?
Sure.
Okay. So but between the two of us, Elle, I would say suffer from a little bit of depression and also some suicidal thoughts and stuff like that. So a lot of her song will be leaning on towards the issues with regard to mental health and depression as an outlet and stuff like that. Well, in my case, it is more towards of my influence being a teacher and how I see the students. So the kind of message that I want to teach my students sometimes will come out in my song, or the kind of the issues that I want my children to know in the future. So those are the things that I would brought forth. But I think Elle should describe further, in terms of her kind of songs.
Thank you.
Yeah. Most of my songs are depressing. In the beginning, most of my song I will express how I actually feel when I'm angry, when I'm sad, or when I'm suicidal. I'll just express how I feel. But eventually, it grew into asking people to look at things in a better way, in different perspective, like looking at it, okay, you're depressed, but that's all right because, and you're not the only one. So when I sing that song, when I sing the songs that I wrote, I want people to know that I experienced this, and some of you out there might also experience this. So when you listen to this song, you can know that hey, it's okay. We are all going through this, and we're gonna make it somehow. Yeah, going.
Thank, thank you so much for sharing that, and thank you for sharing your thoughts because these are universal human thoughts, and they
You hear me?
transcend national boundaries. Certainly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's hard to
So
talk. Sorry, it's hard to talk to my psychiatrist about how I feel. But when I wrote song through the lyrics, when I sing through the lyrics, it's easier to express how I feel. Yeah.
Yes,
So
music has that ability to pour. You can pour your heart out into that, and it's amazing. And people, we've always, all of us, love emotion in music. That's what I look for: emotion, and I look for like a true voice. And when I heard your
yeah.
music, I was very impressed. I really felt that, and I think that's what makes it special.
Oh, thank you. But just to add, like some and most of the songs that have been published too, not all of them actually are derived from our own personal experience. They are songs that comes from our experience of other people around us, or some that comes from the kind of books that we read, or stories that we watch, movies that we've seen. Some of them we feel that this is the kind of emotion that need to have more spotlight into it. So that's what we try to bring into our songs, basically.
It's I was reading your bio on Spotify, and it says what makes Muka Surat different from other artists is their songs, and the songs that you write about the issues that people, especially in Malaysia, might be reluctant to discuss, but you can put it out in music, like depression, abortion, abuse, broken families, self-infliction, suicide, all these topics that are difficult to discuss. How has the reception been from your audiences?
So far, the thing is because the people that I surround, that we surround myself in, like being a teacher in an international school. So the people that I surround myself with are very open minded, and they really accept this kind of music and this kind of issues. They are very open towards it. But then if I go to regular people, the majority of population in Malaysia, they are not really open to this kind of issues. Like we kind of have songs that involves emotion of being an LGBTQ, like being gay, for instance, right? It's not something that is accepted in Malaysia, which is such a shame because after all, being gay is just being human. So, but in here, it is like a total no-no. So, yeah, it's kind of hard actually. We try to deliver to just let people who can relate to us actually know that there are people who actually accept them, something like that. But yeah,
We're in the
yeah,
middle of Pride Month here. The Pride Month is everywhere,
yes,
and
yes.
certainly, we've had a lot of LGBTQ folks on the show, and we want to celebrate our colleagues everywhere because love is love. So thank you so much for sharing that. Have there been issues with censorship? Is there censorship issues in Malaysia?
yeah,
Um,
very much. Um, we are mostly here censored in terms of our politics, religions, and race. Yeah, because this is a multiracial country, and there are one race which sometimes are thought to be superior than the other. So we cannot raise this issue um, openly because some are even got imprisoned if you are being too open about it. So we have to be very careful in terms of that. Yeah.
why we try to be not too explicit in terms of our lyrics. You'll never know. We've got something called the Internal Security Act (ISA), which have the rules to just take anyone to prison without trial. So yeah, we actually do have that law here.
Wow. Well, it's very brave, and you're putting music out that affects people, that really tells a story that needs to be told, and it's very brave of you both.
Yeah, because I've been through being a teacher. I've seen how my students are, how afraid they are to come out of the closet, for instance. So I just want, especially when they see someone like me, because we are Malay, and we fall into the majority of the race in Malaysia who think that most Malay think they are superior. They think that they own the land. Okay, so that's how it is in Malaysia. So someone like me and also wearing a hijab, right? It is hard for these people who are different or I would say more liberal to actually tell me about how their life is, So I just kind of want them to know that it's okay. I accept you guys for being who you are. So over time building those relationships with my students and all that, it really helps them to see that not everyone, not all Malays are like how majority of Malays in Malaysia are. That's
Hey,
the
thank you
way,
for
one of
sharing
the ways.
that. Thank you for sharing that. I really appreciate the background and so Jen is a teacher at an international school. Elle, what are you doing these days professionally when you're not making music?
I'm a PhD student in English literature, um, and I'm currently doing my research on trauma theory with uh, he- um, with psychoanalysis definition by Sigmund Freud. Yeah,
So Freudian psychoanalysis and
yeah,
trauma. So perfect for music, right? We this art is a different art form, but certainly art is art, and it translates. A song is so much shorter than a novel, right? But the emotions can be boiled down, and that's what makes music so special. Is you can really focus the emotion in a very small, like 3 minute, 4 minute time capsule.
very
Yes,
true.
correct.
Yeah.
So when you write music, what comes first, the lyrics or the music?
Anyway, okay, back when we don't come into finding out beats and also available samples on these apps and software where you record music, we used to start with lyric first because we are very lyricists. So we will not be making any songs that have a lyrics that have no meaning. So our lyrics will definitely have meaning. So lyrics are very important to us. But there are some songs where you just kind of bob your head to the beats first before you come up with how the melody would be. So a lot of our new song will start like that. Okay, so but yeah, it really depends. We can go any either way. I think it's the same for you too, like right, El?
Yeah, but lately I use the beat first. Arrange the beat. Okay, or I think that this is gonna be the chorus, and this one is gonna be the verse. And then when I listen back to it, okay, I start to tune it into the music. Yeah,
Yeah.
nowadays.
And
But back then,
so the lyrics come first usually, and then you place those with the beats. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Who does the lyric writing? Do both of you write lyrics, and both of you put songs together? How does that work? How's your process?
Yes. I actually make my own song, and Elle would make her own song. And there are some of our song that is completely her vocal and all of her music arrangement alone. There are some song that is just mine, but there are some song that we write together. But if we write together, I would normally write the chorus, and Elle will write the verse and the rap. Yeah, that's how it is.
I like that process, and your voices blend so beautifully together. That makes sense since you're biological twins. I think that's wonderful. It makes for great ensemble.
Yeah, but I
yeah,
was hoping to have more song that can combine the harmony. It's just that being away from each other during this lockdown period is kind of hard to do that, like in terms of practicing wise. So in the future.
Yeah, we've heard this across the industry. We've had lots of singer songwriters and personalities who record contemporary music, and that's been a lot of things. I'm a classical musician, so I always learn from my contemporary colleagues. We have so much we can teach each other across cultures and across genre divides. But I'm so fascinated how people are dealing with how creative the creative industry can be, as we've had to adapt to changes and. You both of you are doing such great work putting out this music that affects people and that brings people together and lets people know that the feelings they have are not alone. We're not isolated because we've all become so isolated during COVID, and I think it's so
Yes,
important that music can unite us.
yeah.
yes, it's true. we really enjoy that process as well. And actually, we were looking like to collaborate with more people these days because a lot of people are more open for collaboration ever since a COVID hit. So, but that is still a work in progress. So yeah, you'll probably hear
We
that
even
soon.
collaborated with a Japanese singer as well. But yeah, we also collaborate with him. He's just a friend, but he can sing, so we put
Wonderful.
we take him into our music.
It's great when you find a voice that can kind of like go. It's very different than yours. It can be a real
Yeah.
nice diversion. That's wonderful. So,
Yes.
how do you find collaborations? And to describe to us also what is music like in Malaysia? What is the pop music scene in Malaysia like these days?
Um, Generally, like mainstream music, most of the music that majority of Malaysians, okay, because there are some minority who doesn't, prefer songs that is catchy bit like pop music, but they also prefer song that is about love and relationships. But I think that goes like all around the world as well.
Certainly
But
does.
yeah, but so the kind of songs that we try to portray is a little bit hard to be accepted by the mainstream media, but we do get our songs into some of the radio or college radio, and also yeah, some campus radio, and that's so far. Still trying though, and we have a small community of an open mic group that we often went to perform together before COVID. So after COVID, then it's kind of halt halfway, and everyone are complaining about how they miss,
The
going
stage.
to open
People,
mic
yeah.
shows. Yes, yeah, yeah, but that's it. That's how it is in Malaysia.
Well, it's wonderful that you can find that audience at the college radio stations. That's a great place to start. And I think I always tell people this is the era of the indie artist, right? Um, in the past, indie artists would be put out by record companies, and they would create these plastic images of what their music is, and cars and whatever. These kind of fake images. But today's indie audiences are looking for people who are real. They're looking for people who have
Yep.
something to say, and then they gravitate and they follow them. I was looking at today on Spotify, and you guys have over 3,000 monthly listeners, and a lot of your songs are starting to get listened to people across the world. What's it like to see your music transcend your borders, go out from Malaysia, and then spread around and get an audience?
Is amazing. Yeah, it's really amazing because when we first started it, I actually started after the first lockdown, and which explained why the music from the first few songs that we uploaded wasn't like recorded properly. And that was because I thought like if I don't start now, then when, right? So I just
Of
like,
course.
let's not wait for it to be perfect, let's just try it out. Yeah, and I was like, so when I start, because the key is just to start. Like the moment you start, then you keep the momentum going, and you can produce more and more songs, and then you upload and upload. And we were not hoping to get like that much listeners. Even if it's just 10 people who resonate with our music, that will be already good, because some people can relate to you. But to get thousands of listeners, and all the way onto Russia, Ukraine, UK, and the USA, it was so amazing. It's such an amazing feeling.
It is. It's truly
Undescribable.
a global market, right? And what's it like for you, El, to see your music and your message get out to? And I'm really impressed. I was looking at a lot of your listeners seem to be from Russia. Then well, I wonder what it is that just clicks.
Yeah, I feel like I'm doing something meaningful. Like when people listen to you, when you make music, you don't really you don't know whether it's good or not. You just feel like yourself, okay, I think this is okay. But when people listen to you, you feel that, oh, I'm doing something meaningful. People can relate to me. People get this, you know. So yeah, I feel like it is something meaningful. So we are also planning to write a song with Russian lyrics. After this, we are coming up with a
Wow.
song with Russian lyrics because I can actually read Russian Cyrillic, because I listen to Russian songs as well. So yeah, we put some Russian lyrics into our new song. It's gonna come up in a month. Is it, Jen?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
in a
gonna
month.
come up with a song because
Breaking
we
emotional boundaries, breaking language boundaries. That's
yeah
fantastic.
because we noticed that mostly Russians listen to our songs. So this is dedicated to them. Yeah, we wanted to reach them that way.
That's wonderful. Now, especially since you know you have an audience there, to reach out that way is very special and meaningful. I think people are going to really enjoy that. We're on Music Matters with Jason Tramm. We are interviewing Muka Surat 9, who's an indie pop duo from Malaysia. We're just talking about their influence on Russian. They have a lot of Russian listeners. And what's it like when you've written a song, you've poured your heart and soul into the lyrics and the music, and what are some of the responses you've had from people who've listened to your music?
So far, we haven't had any like negative feedback yet, but maybe because we don't really reach that far, that much of an audience yet, to be hated. So the kind of feedback that we get is that, oh, I really like this song. And there are some people who texted me a DM in Instagram asking us to do some cover song for the songs that they like. So it's kind of surprising, like in a way, because I don't really expect for those to happen. Like, yeah. So
For
it's really
me,
cool.
for me, I mostly sing my songs to my close friends. So yeah, so far the response would be that they like it. Of course, maybe because they're my friends, so they just don't have to like it
You have no
anyway.
choice.
Their job is to like what I wrote.
Those are good friends, right? They listen to your
Yeah.
music and they give you a lot of honest criticism. I've got a whole host of people who listen to my shows and give me my feedback, and yeah, it's such a pleasure to get to meet you both. And so, what are some of the songs that have been the most popular? And tell us tell us the backstory of a couple of your songs. I always love to talk about the pieces that really resonate with the artists who write them.
Can you start with Slow Burning, El?
Yeah, I think that is the song that is most popular right now, right? Slow burning, slow
Yeah.
burning. How do I?
I'm going to
How
put
do
a link
I?
to that. That's on YouTube, right? You can find it on YouTube.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm going to put a link to that in the
Um.
chat so everyone should listen to it.
The reason why it's gotten a lot of listen was because of the Spotify algorithm playlist. Actually, it was placed in the playlist right after it was released, and maybe because of I don't know how their algorithm work, but it reached to a lot of Europe country, especially in Russia. There was a point when our monthly listeners went up to 49,000 a month at that point when that song was released. So it was crazy. Like, it was not expected at all. So
Yeah,
slow
and
burning
this
is a
song is
hit.
is where we pull our male friends to sing with us, right?
Yes, yes.
We ask
Wow.
Kino to sing with us, and I think Kino also may play a main part of the song as well because he is a writer, and I
You
think
got a
his
lot of fans.
writers, yeah, he has a lot of fans for his writing. So probably some of his fans went to listen to the song. Maybe he promoted
Yeah.
it in that way. Yeah,
That's what's so exciting about collaborations, when you bring your
yeah,
audiences together, your creative talents together, and you create something that's like a synthesis that's even more than the individual song. It becomes something different, and that must have been wild to go from a couple thousand listeners to 49,000 listeners in a month. That must have been
Yeah,
really crazy.
that was crazy.
And what's the song about?
actually, the song is inspired from a fiction, but I don't remember anymore what kind of fiction. It's a psychotic song about wanting to burn someone that they love with. Yeah.
We've all felt that before. One of those universal human emotions. I conduct opera, and opera. Well, I say,
Yeah,
the stories are great, but it's not the stories that are so great. It's the universal human themes that make the stories great. It's like Shakespeare or a great movie. Those
Yeah.
those themes are always the same, and they never change. Whether it's from this year or from 100, 200, 300 years ago, humans are humans, and that music can unite us in different ways.
yeah, it's true. I agree. Yeah.
What are some? Give me another song. I'm going to put some links to. I love to people when people explore your catalog. I'm going to give them a few songs to check out.
Um, what I need, okay, will be another song because that is the first one that we actually make our music video, and
Wow.
it is like the first official music videos, and that song was celebrating LGBTQ because it's about a lesbian relationship. So Yeah, hopefully it will resonate with some people, especially during this Pride Month.
Absolutely. So tell us what it was like to make a video. How hard was that? Now, did you guys just do it together? Did you have help? Did you have friends who are, I mean, it's always challenging, but it's amazing what artists can do. Like growing up, to make a music video, you had to have a crew and a team and millions of dollar budgets. And so, what's it like to do it as an indie artist? And I'm assuming you didn't have millions of dollars to spend putting it together.
I first started with the idea because I wrote that song. So I was like, why don't we make a very simple music video that I can record from here and you record from there and we can combine it together. So I just used this room actually. So I just pretend that I'm being tied up, and then there's blood all over. I put makeup on myself because I was also previously I was a scare actor, so I still have fake blood with me. So yeah, I put the fake blood on my face and all. So I just
Use your
pretend that
theatrical background. That's great.
yeah. I also went to theater as well. I do theater as well in my faculty. So yeah, I just tie myself up and then I sing the song, record myself with a stand, and then I send it to Jen. And then I asked Jen, now you become the one who adopt me, the one is the kidnapper. I pretend that I'm being kidnapped by you, but the video is taken separately. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's
The
how it is.
challenge, I think the challenge was arranging it, but it's not much of a challenge because Elle was the only one singing. So in order to sync her mouth to the sound, it's quite easy because it's just one video. So the other one is just like the editing process is trying to pick out which one is better, and yeah, and the effects and stuff like that. So that's the challenging part, especially being far from each other, because if we are together and if it's a song that we sing together, then it's easy for you to sing your voice, your mouth movement to the song. But being far from each other is really hard, like, yeah, to arrange that basically.
Isn't it amazing what artists can learn when like faced with challenges? And Jen, you're a teacher, so isn't it amazing what teachers can learn? We've all had to learn so much during COVID. I know I teach at a university, and I have a choir. I have two choirs, an orchestra. I do lectures, and I've had to learn how to be able to provide those services for my students when we couldn't even be in the same room. It's amazing what how creative the creative people can be.
Yes, it's true, because you start to find like more apps and website that can actually help to enhance your learning, a whiteboard website in order to see like what your students is writing, or a slide sharing website that you can share slide on the spot and stuff like that. So it's really amazing the kind of things that you can find, especially exam wise, like when you want to give a quiz and stuff like that. So there's a lot of web, actually, an app that can actually help with that as well. So there's a lot of thing that I learned just from this COVID experience. Yeah, it's really great. Yeah. I loved it.
How about Ellen? What are some things you've learned during COVID period? I always ask this to all my guests. What are some of the things you've discovered about yourself during this period?
I just realized that no matter how antisocial I am, I actually wanted to go out of the house.
Enough is enough, right?
Yeah, like I'm tired of being locked up in my house. Previously, yeah, I like to be inside the house, but during this lockdown, I just realized that, oh my god, I miss a lot of things. I miss traveling. I miss to meet my friends, even though I don't have a lot of friends, just a few friends. But those friends
Yes.
mean a lot to me. I want to talk to someone, like meet them. I don't know, hug them. Yeah, so
And
that's
not on a Zoom screen, right? And not on in front of
yeah.
a tele.
I want to hug someone. Yeah,
It's true. Yeah.
so it's been tough actually.
Thank you, Elle.
Yeah,
How about you, Jen? What's something you've
I'm gonna
learned
give
about
you a
yourself?
virtual hug.
Yeah, I just wish I have like more conversation that involves vocabulary that is not over 5 years old and 3 years old. So
I know you've got
using
little
calling
kids.
cards.
Little kids will do that.
So yeah. I really hope, yeah. So having this interview actually is very helpful.
Well, it's a
Yeah.
pleasure to get to meet people and who are doing good work and putting work out there that's like genuine, authentic, and affects people. It ultimately, music that, if that's what grabs me is as a musician, is music that tells a story, music that's personal, music that has substance, and I really appreciate what you guys are doing.
Oh, thank you so much. Yes, I'm actually really intrigued by the opera music and all this theatrical music, classic music, basically. But I can't play any of those instruments. But I'm gonna make sure that my kids learn one of classical instrument, like at least violin or something. Yeah.
Violin or piano, it gives you a basis, and whether you go into that or not, it gives you kind of the grounding that applies to any music. Really, just kind of the form, the way that things are constructed. Classical
Yeah.
is unique. I spent a lot of my time teaching undergraduates who are not music majors and introducing them to Western classical music, and I love to do that. People who listen to pop and rock and have never been to a classical concert, I make them go. And once I teach them what makes it work, they're like, "Oh, this is really good." I'm like, "Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why it survived for 200 or 300 years."
Yeah, because when I make music using some of the songs are using GarageBand, right? So
Hmm.
when we try to create those beats, I kind of have to learn piano in a way to find the chords that is from guitar and transferring it to piano, so that I can change the effect to have the synthesizer, so that I can have the beats, the bass, and all that. So in a way, learning piano is like the most important, I think, in music, if you want to make music, because yeah, that's it.
What are some things now? I was reading in your catalog. It says that you have over 300 songs you haven't released yet. So COVID's been really good for people writing music, right? Because we've all been kind of alone and kind of dealing with our not traveling, and we've had more time than we've ever had before in some ways. So what can we look forward to from Muka Surat 9 in the months to come?
So we're releasing music every 2 weeks now. So the one that I have scheduled so far is all the way until end of July. So there will be one Malay song. There will be a song in English and Russian language called Only I, and there will be more English songs as well. So what I've been trying to do so far, because of I've got like three clear holder files of all the songs that I wrote since I was 10 years old. So
and
some,
and me another three.
yes, so that's why I
Wonderful.
combine them together. So one of the song that I will release in July is called When I See You Again. So it is the first song I ever wrote that I actually kept the lyrics. I tweaked the lyric a little bit because 10-year-old
Grammar.
come on. Okay. So but the melody is just the same, and I finally found the beats to it using just trying out piano in garage band. So it's quite an interesting song that will be coming out in July, and yeah, more of other songs as well. Yeah, a lot of EDM music that in our music. Yes.
Do you use any Malay folk music? Does that ever come into your Does that ever come into part of the music that you write?
So far, no, but I'll be really interested to try, because in Malaysia we have this traditional music called gamelan, where you use different kinds of drums, and the beat is really nice, and there are some flute sound as well that is included into the music, which is really melodic, and capture attention. That we would want to try that, but we just haven't had a chance because being far away from each other, and yeah, but I am really interested in doing that, yeah.
That's exciting. Gamelan music has excited Western audiences forever. I mean,
Yeah,
Claude Debussy was fascinated with the gamelan. That was part of what set him on his unique journey, was hearing that at a fair in Paris, and he was so impressed with the sounds and the colors
yeah, this
and
the
the
sound
use
is
of
really
different
nice.
scales.
Yeah, it really resonate and make you feel something, when you listen to that kind of music. I'm so impressed with people that actually can play those kind of music. If only I can combine that into my music, that will be the dream. Yes, because being Malaysian, in fact, it's really not enough if you don't get to like project what your culture actually have. So yeah, I'm looking into it, but yeah, I will try to find, because being in an international school, I don't have much connection with music teachers that teach traditional Malaysian music, but because there are even classical music teachers are those that learn other kinds of music instruments, not really like the Malaysian one. So we need to
Choir,
find a community.
orchestra. Yeah.
Mm,
But that'll be interesting to combine your pop music with some of this
yeah.
more traditional music, and you never know what the synergies could be.
Yeah, it's true. Then I heard like some of the Malaysians singer-songwriter that have those kind of music before, like for example, Too Fat, and also Rashmonu. Okay, they combine those music and then they produce a rap with those music in, and it sounds so nice, and it really shows, bring forward the culture of the Malaysia itself. So I find it really, really interesting. Yeah.
I just find it amazing that the world becomes smaller and smaller with the internet. Here we are
Yeah.
across the world from each other, and we can have these conversations that about music and art, and it just shows that music can bring the world together.
Yes,
Yes.
I agree. I have had like an Instagram account before that tried to connect musicians from many different country, and I, I'm asking them to give me like one of their songs and tell me like what it was about. I find it really interesting getting to know these people and where their music come from. So a lot of them, there's one from Brazil who make a song about LGBTQ community because he's also in a gay community, and that songs I feel like is a really good message that he was trying to bring in that song. So it's really nice, getting to know people that actually have the same motivation as you. So yeah, it's
Well,
really
we know
interesting.
that we all have the similar, we all have these similar communities and a story to tell, and we each bring our own unique voice, but it becomes unique each time we bring it up. So thank you so much for sharing both of your stories today. Where can people go to find out more about Muka Surat 9, and how can they get in touch with you?
They can find us on Instagram. So our handle is MUKASUARAT9. So Muka Surat 9. You can also find us, you can follow us on Spotify as well. So we update our music every 2 weeks. Yeah. Facebook also Muka Surat 9. Yes. And
So all the normal places. Well, go find this
yes.
music, explore these two wonderful singer-songwriters, and thank you so much for joining us. And we wish you nothing but continued success.
Yes. Thank
Thank
you
you for
so much.
having us.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us on Music Matters with Jason Tramm. Please remember to subscribe to us on YouTube and smash that bell icon for the most up-to-date information on upcoming guests and topics. Our next show will be today. It'll be 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We have renowned soprano, operatic soprano Marnie Breckenridge will be joining us. So thank you so much for joining us, and remember, keep music alive.